Did you see what just happened? This could be the biggest geopolitical shift we've seen in decades, and it has massive implications for your money, especially if you're invested in precious metals like silver. Russia has officially come out and backed China's stance on Taiwan. This isn't just a casual diplomatic statement. This is a seismic event. The Kremlin released a statement explicitly stating that Taiwan is an inalienable part of China. Why is this such a big deal? Because it signals a deepening alliance between two global superpowers against the West, and it directly challenges the current world order. Think about it. We've had decades of strategic ambiguity around Taiwan. The United States has maintained a delicate balance, acknowledging the one China policy, but also providing Taiwan with the means to defend itself. Now, Russia is throwing its full weight behind Beijing, essentially drawing a new red line in the sand. This isn't just talk. It's a strategic move that could destabilize the entire Indo-Pacific region. And whenever there's major geopolitical instability, where do investors run? They run to safety. They run to hard assets. So how does this all connect to the silver market? Let's break it down. Taiwan is an absolute powerhouse in the global economy, especially when it comes to semiconductors. Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, or TSMC, is the world's largest chip manufacturer. They produce the advanced chips that power everything from your smartphone and laptop to your car, and the world's military hardware. Over 60% of the world's semiconductors and over 90% of the most advanced chips come from this one island. If tensions over Taiwan escalate into a real conflict, the global supply of these chips would come to a screeching halt. We got a small taste of this during the pandemic with supply chain disruptions, and it caused chaos. Prices for electronics and cars went through the roof. A full-blown crisis over Taiwan would make that look like a walk in the park. It would trigger a global economic crisis of epic proportions. The stock market would likely plummet as companies that rely on these chips see their production lines grind to a halt. We're talking about a potential global recession or even a depression. In times of extreme economic uncertainty and fear, investors flock to safe haven assets. Traditionally, that's been gold and silver. These precious metals have been a store of value for thousands of years. They can't be printed by a central bank, and their value isn't tied to the success of any single company or government. When fiat currencies and stock markets are in turmoil, gold and silver tend to shine. Now let's focus specifically on silver. Silver has a unique dual nature. It's both a monetary metal, like gold, and a critical industrial metal. This is where the story gets really interesting. While the safe haven demand would push silver prices up during a crisis, its industrial role is also exploding. Silver is a key component in solar panels, electric vehicles, and all sorts of modern electronics. The green energy transition is already creating a massive demand for physical silver. We're heading into a structural deficit, meaning we're consuming more silver than we're mining each year. So you have this perfect storm brewing. On one hand, you have the Russia-China alliance raising geopolitical tensions to a boiling point, which will drive a flight to safety and increase investment demand for silver. On the other hand, you have this relentless, growing industrial demand that is already squeezing the available supply. When you combine these two powerful forces, the potential for a price explosion is immense. Let's look at the historical precedent. During periods of high inflation and geopolitical stress, like in the late 1970s, silver's price went parabolic. We saw it spike from just a few dollars an ounce to nearly $50. Now, imagine a scenario far more severe. A direct confrontation over the world's most critical technological choke point backed by two nuclear-armed powers. The fear and uncertainty would be off the charts. The statement from Russia is a clear signal. They are no longer playing by the old rules. The partnership with China is solidifying, and they are openly challenging the US-led global order. This isn't some distant possibility anymore. The pieces are moving on the chessboard right now. We're seeing more military drills, more aggressive rhetoric, and now a formal declaration of support from a major military power. This escalates the risk significantly. For the average person, this means the risk in traditional financial assets like stocks and bonds is higher than it has been in a long time. The global economy is built on a fragile supply chain that runs directly through Taiwan. Any disruption there sends shockwaves everywhere. So what can you do to protect yourself? This is where understanding the role of hard assets becomes crucial. Owning physical silver isn't just about betting on the price going up. It's about insurance. It's about having a piece of your wealth outside of the traditional financial system, a system that looks increasingly vulnerable. When you hold physical silver, you're not dependent on a bank or a brokerage firm. It's a tangible asset that has held its value through every crisis in human history. The current price of silver is, in my opinion, ridiculously low when you consider these factors. The market has not yet fully priced in the risk of a Taiwan conflict. It hasn't fully priced in the deepening Russia-China alliance, and it hasn't fully priced in the massive supply deficit we're facing due to industrial demand. It's like a coiled spring. and this latest move by Russia could be one of the final pressures needed to release it. Think about the supply and demand fundamentals alone. The Silver Institute is projecting another massive supply deficit for this year. Demand for silverware and jewelry is strong, investment demand is picking up, but the real story is the industrial side. Every solar panel, every electric vehicle, every 5G tower needs silver. This demand is not going away, it's accelerating. As the world pushes for decarbonization, the demand for silver is set to skyrocket. So, we have a situation where a major geopolitical event could trigger a massive rush into silver at the exact same time that industrial users are desperately trying to secure their own supply. What happens when a flood of new investment demand collides with an already tight physical market? The price has only one way to go, and that's up. And it might not be a gradual rise. It could be a sudden explosive move as the market wakes up to the new reality. This isn't about fear-mongering, it's about being prepared. It's about looking at the facts on the ground and making informed decisions to protect your wealth. The Russia-China declaration is a wake-up call. The Taiwan red line has been crossed in a way we haven't seen before. The risk to the global economy and the traditional financial system is immense. For those who understand what's happening, this could also be a once-in-a-generation opportunity. The potential for silver in this environment is simply explosive. Take a look at the world around you. Don't just listen to the mainstream headlines. Connect the dots. A diplomatic statement from the Kremlin, a factory in Taiwan, and the piece of silver in your hand are all connected. Understanding these connections is the key to navigating the turbulent times ahead. The signs are all there. The question is, will you pay attention? Thanks for watching today. I hope this gives you a lot to think about. It's a critical time, and staying informed is your best defense. If you found this information valuable, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our future updates. Stay safe and be prepared. We'll see you in the next video.